welcome back to another episode of
The Fuzzy Pod.
We're on our own in the studio today. Who
I'm
knows?
on my own.
Pretending we have someone recording us, but it's just us and the cameras today. We are strong, independent women, and we can run this podcast on our own, even though we have, she has a husband who's a videographer. I have a husband who's a musician and knows how to run all of our audio. But today we're doing it on our own, and I think it's going well.
Good.
We've been doing this for 3 minutes?
Yeah, I feel great. We're recording. Audio's going.
I think we're good. How was your day?
It was good. I got my nails done today.
They look so cute.
Loki scratched me in the face right before this.
That's a little stressful.
Just because he was happy I was coming home and he was like, Mom.
Oh. Yeah,
It was
sometimes they don't
just
know what they have, like in their claws.
power.
The power of the claws.
Yeah, so.
And it's on us to trim them, but that's the thing too, right? You can have them freshly trimmed.
Yes.
And they're even more
And
sharp.
they're sharper.
Yes.
Yeah. I had a dream a few nights ago that I've been meaning to share with you.
Please, let's get into it.
Because everyone loves hearing dreams. No, basically, I've never gotten the Timothée Chalamet hype.
Okay.
I've never been into him.
He's not your type.
Yeah. And I still wouldn't say I'm into him or that I find him attractive. But I had this dream.
Said.
No, but I had this dream where I was married and we were hanging out for some reason. We were hanging out with
You were
Timothy.
married to him or you were still
I was
married?
married to my husband, Tet.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out with Timothy and we were just best buds. He was genuinely a great guy. We were just such good friends.
Wait.
And then I woke up and I was like, I get it because he's such a good guy.
She's like, oh my gosh, I get the Timothée Chalamet effect now. Would you say you're not like, oh, he's a cutie pie, attracted,
no,
hottie.
I would say he's a
besties.
cutie pie, but
Okay.
In a best friend kind of way. I would say some of my best guy friends, I say oh, they're such a cutie, but not in I'm unattracted to you kind of way.
So it's a prophetic dream maybe that you're going to be besties.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, isn't he New Yorker? You love New York. I'm trying to find ties here.
I think I've just been watching a lot of his movies.
And you're like, I think I got a good read on this guy. We're definitely besties. You're looking up his star sign and moon sign, the
I bet if I
astrological
did.
symbols, and
I bet if I did.
We're meant to be best friends.
Just throwing it out there.
No, this is how it goes, right? The Timothée
enemies to lovers.
Okay, here's the conspiracy. Okay, we're talking about conspiracies. There's a Timothée Chalamet organization, and they have a list of people who have been mid, and then they infiltrate your dreams.
Okay.
So that you at
Inception
least
style.
Inception style. So you now have an appreciation for Timothée Chalamet.
Fair. I buy it. I buy it.
Oh, dude, my day has just been flying by.
Did I ask you?
No,
No,
but
just
I thought maybe you would and you didn't, so I'm just going to go
I was
get
just
into
sitting
it.
in the Timothée Chalamet of it all for a second.
Okay.
Megan, how was your day?
Oh, my day has just been flying by, honestly. I'm how is it already the time that it is? I don't even know what time it is. It's 3 o'clock currently as we're recording this.
Feels like 7 p.m.
It feels like 7 p.m. I'm already exhausted. I want a nap. I kind of got a second wind a little bit when we started pressing record, I'm
Yeah.
all right, let's do this.
When you press record on your camera and not mine.
Yeah, sorry about that, by the way. I'm new to this, okay? Usually someone else presses record on all of it. And I thought you were, operating yours. I was operating mine, kind of a situation.
No, fair. You were right.
Hello?
That light's going to die.
We already lost a light. Hello, 37%.
Hello?
That lasted 3 minutes.
Hello.
Okay.
All right, we're back.
All right, we're back. The light went out, but we figured it out.
Then the other light went out.
It's okay. We're here. But this light has not gone out. The light inside of us. Not yet, at least.
And the light inside of you.
Let's find out by the end of this episode.
Let your light shine.
Let your light shine. Shine bright. Not that we sing
What
too
is that?
much. We sing a lot, though.
No, but what is that?
It's from not Super Size Me. Hold on. Super
Life size.
Life Size. Thank you.
Sorry, yelled it. I just think it's important information for you guys to have that Megan and I frequently will send each other voice memos when we're with other people because we'll say a movie quote that we don't know where it's from.
Yeah.
And it'll be a niche movie quote that you can't, it's not Googleable.
And that it's not your own idea.
Yeah. And you're like, I can't Google this because no one's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It happens.
And then usually the other person knows what it is.
And that is my husband's first ick of me. And mine.
And that brings us into our topic for today.
Maddie, what are we discussing today?
We are discussing all things ick related. We're going to be talking about the crushes we had and how we lost them.
Yes.
And all the weird, unhinged icks that we've ever had.
Here's the thing. I feel like the term having the ick became really big the last couple of years. I feel like it's tapering down a little bit because we kind of reached extremes with the ick, if you ask me.
We reached extreme icks.
I feel like when I say we reached extremes, I feel like the icks went too far. Like it could be very minuscule small things that people would be, claiming I have the ick from. Which, to be fair, a lot of the things we're going to be mentioning today are those silly little dumb things that you're like, okay, and the big, is that the word I'm looking for?
On the grand scheme of things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In the grand scheme of things, some of these small things, maybe aren't worth giving up a relationship for.
They don't really matter. But I think the heart of the ick could be nice because I feel
They're
like
valid.
we shouldn't give up fully on the ick, but we need to reel it in.
Just reel it in just a little bit.
Reel it in.
Just a little
Because
bit.
sometimes someone does you wrong and you need to get a little bit of an ick for them.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay to make it a silly ick.
Okay, here's the thing. Icks, red flags, different, but sometimes the same.
People will say an ick.
That should be just a red flag.
Yes.
An ick should be more minuscule.
An ick is something that's is silly. That's what I think.
That's fair. Yeah. Like it's a little bit far-fetched.
Yes.
To be like, I'm absolutely disgusted by this person.
Repulsive. Like sometimes when my husband mouth breathes, I'm like, you're giving me the ick.
When my husband backseat games too far when we're playing video games together.
That is an ick.
That's the ick. Yeah. I'm like, bro, why are you taking things so seriously?
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. Oh,
it's not that dick.
Are we good? Is there a carbon monoxide leak in here? I feel like we're feeling loopy up in here.
I feel unsupervised. I think that's.
I feel unsupervised, she says. Usually we have a little bit of an audience. And by that, I mean Madison's husband, Ted, who we joke is our producer. But he is a little bit of the peanut gallery for us because he'll make little comments here and there.
Yeah.
Or if we, give a fact that's not actually true, he'll fact check for us in the moment, and make sure we're not just out here
talking out our butts.
Because also, ick.
Is that an ick? When people give fake facts?
What's an ick that you've seen someone talk about that you were like, okay, as a joke, it's funny, but if you are seriously considering ending a relationship over, maybe you should reconsider.
That's a good question. I wish I would have known beforehand because I had an answer for you. I could see one being someone being upset about their partner playing video games.
Yeah.
That's kind of to me a little bit of a silly ick.
Yeah.
That's just kind of generalizing though. Obviously if someone's playing
it's
8 hours a day and it's not their job to play video games.
Yeah.
Then that's probably an ick.
Reach addictive levels or whatever.
Yeah.
It's such a strong word.
You're addicted.
You're addicted to video games. No, yeah, that is an interesting one. I've always thought it's my husband plays online games with his friends. Ick. And I'm like, well, maybe that's a good place to have some community and
yes,
be able to enjoy friends that don't live locally or things like that.
Absolutely. And I feel it's also having an understanding because I'll be honest, when my husband was playing Dungeons and Dragons before I got into it and he was playing online with his friends and they would have their little Discord calls and he'd be like, and then I wield my sword. That was an ick for me. I had to remove myself from the situation because I was I can't mentally get to a point where I can support that in this current state.
So maybe sometimes icks are just Not always.
Misunderstandings.
Misunderstandings. Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
Maybe they're misunderstandings, and it's like, maybe some icks are worth, like, taking a moment to, I don't know, show some interest in your partner's interest or
Yeah.
the person you're interested in.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not in a relationship, just, like, getting to, hey, what do you
you
love about
like
this?
that?
Like,
Yeah.
what's so cool about this? They're like, oh, let me show you. And then maybe you end up loving it, like D&D for you. Like, I think you had to experience it.
Love? No, I'm just kidding.
You're like, whoa, love? I mean, I've only texted in the group chat every other week asking when we're getting together again.
I mean, I'm the one that keeps trying to get it on the calendar, but I'm the one painting the figurines for us, but no, I was
What are they called? Miniatures?
I don't even know. See?
Yeah.
I'm fake.
We're fake.
I'm a fake fan. We're new.
We're babies in the world of D&D, truly. We've only gotten together with our group
A couple times. Yeah.
like 2-3 times, and that's it. So, but we're
works in progress.
We're learning each time.
But that's not why we're here.
So we're not here to talk about D&D. No, we're here to
We're
talk
giving
about
you guys the ick about how much we bring up D&D in this podcast.
Everyone's like, 1 star. This pod is the ick. No, but I feel like it's interesting to talk about because, in my opinion, I do think that the ick got taken a little too far, but can be in good fun.
Yes, like I think we can have the whole point of this episode is for us to laugh about the icks that we had.
Yeah. And sometimes icks can be really helpful if you have a crush
But you need
that
to
you
get
need to
rid
get
of.
rid
That's
of.
what I'm saying. We can't fully ban the icks
No.
because they do serve a good purpose.
They really do.
Like if it's a crush, you're like, I'm over you. I know we actually wouldn't be a good fit, but I just can't get you out my mind.
Then you got to find an ick.
Then you have to find an ick.
Maybe some of these icks we're going to be talking about today will spark some inspiration for you.
You can use them.
If you need to let go of a crush. But specifically, I think the two of us thought it'd be fun to talk about icks before they were called icks. Because in junior high, in high school specifically, at least for us, it felt like we had a new crush every few weeks.
Did you ever tell anyone your crushes, like your friends? Did you like talk about them? Because I was locked down like a vault.
You're like, nope, never telling anybody.
I wouldn't tell. My best friend would get so mad because I would tell her like 2 years later. I was like, oh yeah, I had a crush on that guy. And she was like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, because I don't trust no one.
Not even my best friend, she said.
She's a double agent. No, I'm just kidding.
I think if it went on for longer than like that week.
Yeah.
Because when I say that week, it sounds so funny, but like truly when you were like an adolescent, it was like that.
Yeah, it
was like, ooh,
you
cute
see
guy.
a guy and you're like, he's cute, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in love with him.
He's so cute. And then he does something that gives you the ick, and then you're moving on.
Megan, what were some of your icks?
All right, this is a big one that I think a lot of specifically women can relate to universally, specifically also in that time period of junior high school. And that's when you had a crush on a guy and he came to school after the weekend with a fresh new haircut that just wasn't serving the same way it was the week before.
The way your crush getting a haircut would just end it all. It could literally end it all because the way a man's face changes from a simple haircut is
what is it?
Unprecedented.
What is it?
Scientists must study it.
They must study it because they could have cute swoopy hair. That was like the thing, the cute swoopy hair, and then come in with like a short buzz cut, and you're like, what happened? Where did it go? Your whole personality was in your hair, and now it's gone.
Devastating.
I had an interesting and very funny conversation with Cooper from the opposite perspective as the one that would be, crushed on.
The crush E.
He was the crush E. Yeah, because the women would be the crushers, right? And he was the crushy. So as the crushy, Cooper was just having this realization today when I was telling him about our podcast episode. He was telling me that he used to have the swoopy hair and then he cut it short. And when he cut it short, he's never had so many specifically like girls in his life bring up like, oh, you cut your hair. but not like make comment like, "Oh, your hair looks so good." It was just like,
Do you like it?
this realization.
When you get your hair done and someone says, "Do you like it?"
Oh my gosh. And I
But
was
do you like it?
Cooper.
Is it good?
you gave like 10 girls at your junior high
The
like
ick
the ick.
immediately.
And you
Wait, wasn't he
didn't even know.
homeschooled?
He was homeschooled, but he also like had certain like classes that he would go to. Like I think other homeschool moms would like
What are they
host like
called?
co-ops.
Like co-ops, yeah.
So he did co-ops, and then he was also really heavily involved like in his like church growing up. And so like I think it was like the youth group girlies all had crushes on him.
Yep, there you go.
And that was
That's
it. And he showed up to youth group one day with a fresh cut, and they were like, "Oh, Cooper. Wow.
You changed.
You changed your hair." And that just made me laugh to think about the like on his perspective. Like he didn't even like think anything of it back then. But now he's like, "Oh my gosh, that was a thing." And I was like, "Oh yeah. That was the
They
thing."
thought you were ugly.
They went home and cried that night.
Oh, cried? I don't know about that.
Bit dramatic.
Were you crying over crushes?
No, not over crushes, no.
Oh.
I
was like, I hope these girlies aren't crying over a haircut.
I'm just saying, just for dramatic effect, okay?
Okay. So you're trying to hype up your man. That's
Yeah.
okay.
They went home and they were like, "I must move on to another crush.
Until his hair grows back.
And then maybe I can reconsider."
Oh my gosh. Honestly, yeah. I was gonna say that's true till to today as well. Like, haircuts really do affect the way a man's face looks. For some reason.
But for some reason, when you were younger, it was like the
life
thing.
changing.
Yeah, life changing. Now it's not as much. You'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
it'll
it's
grow
like,
back."
it'll change. Yeah, you can change it back. It's fine.
No big deal.
It's not that big of a deal.
But back then,
Okay, so one of my most unhinged icks was
am I
if
already
a
laughing?
man's because it's ridiculous. I could have like a crush on someone, and then like I come to school one day, we're having a conversation. Uh-oh, he's got a bear in the cave, aka a boogie in the nose. Can be crispy.
Ew.
Can be not crispy, the opposite of crispy.
Moist.
Gooey. Ooey gooey. Just on the tip of the nose, a little crispy right there. It doesn't matter. Any kind of boogie. Immediately, I'm like, you are the most unattractive human I've ever seen. I will never like you again. You can't even keep your nose clean.
I'm crying.
And I would immediately lose a crush.
So you were just, I'm done.
Yeah, a singular booger. It just had to be one instance. Just one instance.
Not multiple booger incidences.
No,
Just one.
no. Just the one.
Incidents.
Incidents. No. Singular incident.
And you're like,
Singular
"I'm out."
offense.
She said, "I'm out. Moving on."
Here's the thing. You can't keep your nose clean. How are you going to support me?
How you gonna support me? You got green in the nose when you need green in your hands.
When you need green in the wallet.
Wait, green in the wallet.
Green in the bank.
I'm crying. That's so real though. Like, especially as a kid, you were like, oh, okay.
What's worse, a moist booger or a crispy booger?
Oh gosh. Moist? I don't know though, because one time I was talking to someone and they had like
the crispy.
a flaky one.
Yeah.
And it was like moving around and I
moving.
was not listening to them because it was moving and I was like, "Oh my gosh, where's it gonna go?" And then
gonna
I watched
fly
it
on me.
fall out. And onto the
Immediate ick.
This was thankfully like a teacher, so it wasn't like someone I was like crushing on.
You never know.
I never had cute teachers.
Nah, I don't think I did either.
I never had like the hot teacher. We had like young teachers, but like nobody that was like, "Ooh, look at him.
He's a looker.
He's a looker. I'm gonna write about him in my diary." No, none of that.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
It's not like TV.
It could be like TV. We just don't know. Yeah, so anyways, the booger one was
That's my biggest fear too.
is having a booger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why it was an ick for me. Because I was so afraid
Hold
of
on.
it happening to me.
Icks
Insecurities.
insecurities of your own
Projecting.
that you're projecting.
Projections.
Whoa.
Therapy.
Whoa.
Therapist.
Mm.
Good advice.
Good. Wow. Yeah. Think about that.
Internalize.
I might internalize this next one, okay? Jeans with sandals.
Have you been an offender of this?
Only when I
Is
get
that the right way to say that?
yeah. Only when I've gotten
Have you done
pedicures
this?
done.
Oh, okay. Well, doesn't count because you're just you're walking out with the fake chanclas, you know?
Yeah. Well, put on like real ones.
Oh, you bring your own
I bring
chanclas?
my
That's
own.
responsible.
Yeah. So I don't have to reuse the little foam ones that don't offer any support for your feet.
Sometimes I'll bring my own sandals and they'll still put those on me.
Huh.
I'll be like, I have my own sandals. And
But it's
they're
not
like,
it's not like a slide. It's like I have the thong style, like I don't know what else to call it, Yeah.
Thong.
The
Is
thong.
that one of them thongs?
We've been talking about thongs a lot on this pod. Wow, we're so edgy.
We're so edgy.
No, side note though, a thong when you were in junior high was like
So scandalous.
so scandalous. You're like, oh my gosh, wait, we shouldn't be wearing those. Like, oh my gosh. It's literally just for painting lines. It's like not that big of a deal.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
Biggest disappointment of my adulthood. I thought as soon as I bought my first thong,
I would feel something. I'd be a woman.
I'd be a true woman.
Wait, do you agree with the jeans with sandals?
Oh yeah, I thought that would just went without being said. I'm gonna piggyback off that though.
Okay.
With socks and sandals.
Okay. Yeah. I could see in certain settings. Like if someone's traveling, it isn't, I don't know, like you're kind of dressing down more casual.
Here's the thing. Like
and hanging at your
Adidas
house.
slides with Adidas socks.
Yes.
Wearing like shorts.
Yeah.
Can be a vibe.
Yeah.
Birkenstocks and socks? No. Docks and socks? No.
It's a no from me.
Wearing crusty white socks with crusty sandals? Big no.
No. What about this?
Are you an athlete? Because I feel like it was the athletes that would wear the
That's true.
Adidas slides.
That's true. But how about this? Flip flop with a sock.
A thong with a sock?
Yeah.
A thong with a
the
sock.
toes being just pressed against.
Are you saying a thong with a sock?
I'm asking, is that the worst of them all?
That is the worst of them all. Because the sock's not made for that. So you're forcing the sock material.
You're stretching it
in a way that it's not meant to be.
No, it's not. Unless you're
It's against the laws of
toe
this
socks.
earth. Well, that's just immediate prison. Imprisonment.
Toe socks.
Fashion jail.
Oh my gosh. Going on like the fashion thing too. Maybe this was just growing up in Texas, but being a cowboy in quotes, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Like the fake cowboy.
The fake cowboy is the biggest ick.
Yeah.
You're not working on a farm.
No.
You're not working on a ranch.
No.
You should not be dressing that way.
No.
Amen.
Amen. Maybe some certain elements like the hat.
You're
the
going
boots.
to the rodeo.
Yeah.
Sure, throw on a hat. Throw on some boots. Okay? Maybe. But everyday fits?
It's the guy cosplaying as a true cowboy.
Why you cosplaying as a cowboy?
There was just so much of that maybe that's why it was like, oh, that's not what I'm going to be into. Immediate ick. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I was like, no, I could never like date or be with a cowboy.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because
Because there
feel
was
strongly about this.
so many. I still feel strongly about this, she says.
Well, I feel strongly for a different reason because I'm like, if you're a legitimate cowboy, I can't live with that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like the getting up really early.
She's like, not for me.
The hunting. It's
Not
just,
for me.
it's not my lifestyle.
That's fair.
But,
Yeah, I don't think these nails go very well with
my whole aesthetic, my whole vibe, my whole energy. Like, they'd be
a
like,
hunting look.
please go home because all you're doing is complaining. And I'd be like, yeah,
It's hot out here.
it's hot or it's too cold
Smells
or
funny.
it's smelly or I can't wear my cute shoes out here. I got mud on my shoes. I got mud on my face. It's not for me. It's just not. Like, I will pretend for a day for the fun of it.
Totally.
But as a lifestyle choice?
Yeah.
No.
And that's why we all have different interests, right? We have all.
And that's why I married a creative.
She's like, and that's why I married a soft emo boy who stays inside and
Who
never
only
sees the
stays
light
inside.
of day.
All right, my next one is, I think I just had Valentine's Day on the mind a little because it, it recently passed. And I had 2 people try to give me Valentine's Day gifts when I was in junior high, and one of them was trying to give me like a big giant like teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
I ran the other direction. Like I literally avoided this person all day at school because I was like so icked.
You're like, I don't want to carry this around all
Yeah,
day.
I was like,
who's
that
this
is
from?
disgusting. Like I am not carrying around this crusty ass bear. Like who knows where you got it from?
Not this kid spending his whole allowance on a big bear.
No, he was a horrible person. I literally ran and hid like all day. I'm not even joking. And then someone else, I kind of felt bad about this one, but this other kid was trying to give me his gymnastics medal that he won. It was giving like, oh, like wear my like jacket, you know what I mean?
What
Like
place was it?
it wasn't even like first place. That's what was embarrassing. He was like bronze.
I'm cackling. Oh my gosh.
It was like a third place medal.
That is so funny. Here, baby, wear this for me. I want everyone to know that you're my girl.
I'm screaming.
That's ick. That's hilarious. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Not it being like a third place medal.
Well, that's what's so funny too. It's like we're not talking Olympics here. Extremely impressive, okay? We're
No,
talking
oh my
junior
God.
high PE medal.
Like, I don't even know where this came from. Like, it was just some random extracurricular activity that he was like into gymnastics. I didn't even know he was into gymnastics.
So what'd you say?
I ran from him. Well, this is the thing. So the guy with the teddy bear, I saw like he kept texting me that he was gonna like give me something, and I was like, please don't. So then I knew that he like every time I saw him coming towards me in the hallway, like I'd go the other way. This other guy with the medal, I think told my best friend, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna give this to her. And so I just avoided him for like a week.
A week?
Yeah. Yeah. Good times. Anyways, apparently gift giving was an ick for me.
She's like, not anymore though. Gifts are definitely accepted.
I think it was just that I was like, oh, if I accept this, they're gonna think that I'm into them.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't need the pressure.
Also, those were like kind of like
It's intense.
intense gifts. Yeah, I was like a big teddy bear. You're gonna be carrying that around all day, and people are gonna be like, "Who is that from?"
And I didn't even like the guys. I
So-
think that's why, because I didn't even think. Well, yeah, no, I didn't like them.
She's
So
like, well,
maybe it
maybe.
doesn't count as an ick. It made me like them less.
Oh my gosh. Okay, not a teddy bear, but when a guy would bring a guitar to school,
Ooh,
I saw this happen a couple times, and they would know like 2 chords.
guitar playing at a party, like at a house party.
I never went to house parties because I wasn't cool, but that would also be ick.
I mean, you hosted house parties.
I guess in my 20s, huh?
Yeah.
I meant like high school.
Oh, I
but-
guess we are talking high school. I'm just talking
In
still
general.
to this day.
Yeah, still to this day, if a man
Grab someone's like
Brought a
guitar,
guitar and
or
was like,
brings
"I'm
a
gonna
guitar.
play."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
campfire, they're like, "Ooh, guys, I'm gonna sing for us all."
What song is it?
I'm not even. I'm not. This is not even a meme.
No, I know.
This guy for real played Wonderwall.
No, I've had that happen multiple times.
Like, no wonder it became a meme. This was actually a thing. It was the only song they knew. Like, what? Today is gonna be the day that I'm gonna get the ick for you. By now, you probably should have learned more than 2 chords.
on the guitar. I can't believe you really think this is gonna work for you.
I guess it works for her. One girl's ick is another girl's treasure.
One girl's ick is another girl's lick. I'm trying to see your eyes.
No, thank you.
Is another girl's stick.
Is another girl's pick.
One girl's ick is another girl's pick. Put that on a t-shirt.
Wow. Yeah, I guess it worked for some people, but I just remember this guy brought it in and I was like, ew, you're so bad. Like, if you're going to be that confident to like carry it around and like play for people to serenade them,
You know,
like you need to be so good.
yeah.
She's got no more words.
It's just because like you know they're carrying it too because they're waiting for someone to ask them about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I brought a guitar to school, but it was part of like a choir thing. I was giving the ick. In my freshman year, my choir did Valentine's like singing grams, and you could like hire choir students, like payroll money. It was like to raise money for our choir. to
Yeah, I
do
remember
like
you doing that. That's cute.
and so that's the only thing I brought guitar for was to like accompany myself for the singing grams. And I signed up because I got out of class all day. But the only like well, it was kind of not embarrassing, like, but you are putting yourself out there. You're singing in front of like a classroom of people. But the more like embarrassing part wasn't like the students. It was having to go in and like teachers like being like, oh, make it quick. And you're like, I'm so sorry. Like
That's
they
so
assigned me this period. Like and
rude.
told me to come here. Like I didn't know you were taking a quiz today. Like why would they I don't know, there needs to be a better system or
Oh, that's
communication.
so mean.
And I'm like, I can come back. And they're like, no, just do now. I'm like, okay.
Your body is a wonderland.
Yeah, how'd you know that was the song I did? No, it was I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. Cringe. That's the ick.
That is the ick right there.
Singing that song.
Another one of my icks, which this one's like kind of like, okay, fair. Kind of similar to the booger though. It just had to be one time. If anyone ever had like bad breath. But I'm kind of thinking like it was more like milk breath. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like milk breath.
I'm trying to track, but it's
a little sour.
Yeah, a little sour and thick.
Yeah, a little thick.
I'm telling you though, when it's like, because they're so like crushes are so low stake, it's so easy to like find an ick.
Yes. Well, and like bad breath is a huge thing. I remember there was this guy who was like super popular. I wasn't like necessarily like into him ever, but like we had a few classes together, so we'd like talk, and he'd always have I don't know if it was because our last names or something, but he always sat in front of me.
Yeah.
And his breath was rank. Rank. I still remember his name. And
oh, Mr. Stinky Breath.
no, he was popular.
Okay, he's probably fine.
And I would offer him gum and he wouldn't take it.
What if he's a dentist now?
Oh my God, I hope he's a dentist. But like when someone's like content, like in junior high, gum is a currency.
Oh yeah.
So if someone's like free will offering you gum, you probably should take it.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't?
No, he would have refused it.
Huh. But I guess the bad breath didn't get in the way of his popularity.
No, but it got in the way of my education. Because he's breathing and I'm sitting behind him.
Combine this. Now imagine this combo, okay? This
bad breath
and not just that.
Okay, I'm listening.
Keep in mind, we're talking about junior high school specifically. The tiny stash. When a man's was first getting
some facial hair
in, but it wouldn't be enough because you're 14. But they would hang on to it.
For dear life, they would hang on to it. And it would
just be like 4 or 5 little hairs just right above the lips. And they were just calling it their mustache. And I'm like,
embarrassing.
I'm literally waxing off more from my upper lip.
From my upper lip
weekly than you are growing. Like, let go. Let go until you can full commit. That would give me the ick in junior high or high school. You're talking to someone and you're like, oh. And they're like, oh, yeah, this. You got the stash. I feel like, legitimately, though, like one of my guy friends I called out to was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, you got to get rid of it.
You got to get rid of it.
It's embarrassing.
I'm here to help you out as a homie. Let's just don't. You can try later. Try again later.
Try again at a later date.
Just say goodbye for now, okay?
Good night and goodbye by the Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers never gave me the ick as a kid.
Do they give you the ick now? Nick does.
Nick gives the ick. No, not. I think it's more just like whenever, like now that we're like all adults and stuff. It's like, oh, why he was like when I was a kid. Him being the serious one, I thought was like cool and endearing, you know, and like, but now him being the serious one, I'm like, oh, why you gotta be like uptight feeling?
Why are you boring?
And then the other one's a little messy. You got Joe, being
sloppy Joe.
So it's just like, what we're trying to say is, if you have a crush, listen, we're just gonna reiterate this one more time. If you have a crush that you need to let go for whatever reason, okay, maybe not a good person, maybe it's a crush you're not supposed to have. It is so easy to find a little ick when necessary.
Honestly, we can help you too if you need help.
Let us know. Just send us a photo. We'll try to find something, okay?
Oh my goodness.
Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, do you have any more?
Okay, so I have 2 more. I'll just do these real quickly. I feel like this is not even just an ick. I think it's just red flag. when someone's rude to like a waiter or someone in customer service or anything like that. But you wouldn't really see that too much in high school or junior high because your hangout spots were limited, you know?
Like you're walking around the mall for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, we should be the ones getting yelled at because we're just mooching and like not buying anything. And going back again specifically to being young, when a guy had too much Axe on.
Ooh, that's a great one.
Too much Axe body spray. If you know, you know.
The way they would layer that stuff.
And they thought it was they were the hottest thing. They smelled delicious, scrumptious, and it was burning my eyes and my nose. I can't breathe. To be fair.
Literally choking people out with their nasty Axe.
No, it was so bad. I was going to say, to be fair, at that age too, I layered on the perfume. But at least like perfume's a little more of a lot of the perfumes I was wearing were a little more mild in
There's something,
scent.
so intense about Axe body spray though.
Yes.
Like the smell of it.
Yeah.
And I think it was like with perfume, like the perfumes that we were buying. Think about the bottles because the way that the spritz works on a perfume versus the Axe, which is literally like air freshener where you can just hold it down and it just
the
like,
breeze.
Like it's too much is coming out of that can.
Yes.
And they're like for a full minute.
Yeah.
Full minute.
From head
to
toes.
To crotch to toes.
Yeah. A little extra time in the crotch, probably.
Little on the butt.
Yeah.
And then they also sold like Axe, or they still sell Axe body wash, Axe deodorant. I'm pretty sure. I think they were using all of them. The collection.
Why did that have such a chokehold on that generation of
Because
young
it was
men?
cheap.
That's fair. But like you didn't need to we were wearing perfume. So what am I saying? I guess like some guys want to wear they want to smell good too, but apparently they don't want good breath because they're declining gum. Which also sorry, can we go back to that for 2 seconds? This guy that was popular at your school who declines gum and he has really bad breath. You mentioned gum being a currency when we were in junior high. And if he was the most popular guy, I feel like he would be just stacks on stacks with the gum.
But that's what you don't understand. He's declining the gum.
He could be he
could
comes
be
to
ruling the school
he could
with the amount of gum he could get.
Exactly, that he's getting from other people. They're like, oh, hey, Johnny, whatever. Here's some gum.
Jump scare.
What is his name actually, Johnny?
No, but I'm going to tell you later. Now that we're done reading off our icks from way back when, honestly, some of these I feel like are still icks of ours by the way we were talking about.
It's so funny, too, just to look back on that. You're like,
I stand by it. No, I'm just
when we were kind of coming up with what the icks, I was trying to put myself back in okay, I'm 13 years old. I like this dude. What's the thing that's gonna just have me moving on to my next crush? Those are the kinds of things I was trying to think about.
What do you think is an ick that you have?
What is
what is your
biggest
ick to
I
others?
Put out my icks to others.
What's your ick energy?
Okay, so my ick energy, I'm gonna go ahead and stick still with that same age range.
Okay.
I was always seen as too quiet and shy, and for a lot of guys and people, it was the ick. I remember one time too, I kind of hung out with this guy and I was like, oh, I kind of like him, maybe he likes me. And he literally was telling one of my guy best friends, no, she's too quiet. She's too I think she's too shy. First of all, mans took me to see a movie.
Oh yeah, we've heard this story before.
No, but I think it's just it's a prime example of oh, I always kind of thought that or heard snippets of that.
Yes.
But that was the first time it was confirmed verbally oh, because of this, it's a bad thing. Even when I first interacted with Cooper, his roommates, he was what they were telling him she's cute, but she might be kind of quiet and maybe she's too shy. And I just think that's so interesting that quiet and shy are synonymous with being an ick or being something that's repulsive. I'm not everyone needs to be these larger than life, over the top personalities, but I feel that's societally what people gravitate towards, and that the more
that's what's seen as Riz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes the more observant, laid back one who does better in small groups, can be a very interesting person, but you just have to be able to meet them there and not just write them off from one experience, I feel like, especially depending on the setting. Speaking from personal experience, because I would say that in general, I naturally am more introverted, which obviously doesn't have to do anything with being shy, but
Yeah.
I think people sometimes think that those go like hand in hand. But I think sometimes my shyness was just, I mean, there's a lot of big personalities out there. And
Yeah.
sometimes if people are hamming it up, I'm just there to kind of lay back. Like, I'll say my piece when I want to. Like, but for the most part, like, I'm so down to just kind of like be an observer and then join in the right moments, if that makes any sense. I don't need it to be like, hello, attention,
Yeah.
eyes on me. I know you're laughing at me because you just asked me one simple question.
No,
and I
I
went
love
into
it,
this
though.
whole thing.
I'm laughing in a positive way because I think it's important. It is an important thing.
I'm actually listening to this audiobook right now specifically about this.
Oh,
too.
really? Yeah.
It's
No,
called-
I'm not laughing because I'm like, oh my God, whatever. But like, I'm laughing because I'm like, all right, pop off, queen.
It's actually like very topical because this book I'm listening to, it's called Quiet, I believe by Susan Cain.
A Quiet Place. No, I'm just kidding.
A Quiet Place. But I'm only like 3 chapters in.
Okay.
But it's my life experience.
Yeah.
Like-
It's really hitting home.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, totally. In order to like, kind of do well in the dating space, I feel like it's really expected of you to be this big
Like
personality.
super bubbly all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think that would probably be my biggest ick for people, was that I was too shy and too quiet.
I think my laugh was an ick for people.
Really? That's so funny. My laugh. Wait, I kind of remember you talking about
Yeah.
this. You would like guys, and they'd be like, why do you
My
laugh like that?
laugh and my voice, because my voice was like much deeper.
Than a lot of boys at
Then-
that age,
yeah.
especially. Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry, my balls dropped before yours.
You would say that to them?
I probably did say something like that. I probably did, knowing me.
I could never, I tried. I could be sassy back, probably more so now. But back then, I would just smile and walk away.
Smile and wave.
Smile and wave.
You
Smile
just
and
go,
wave.
Thank you for being here
Here
today.
Thank you for your insults. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then now an ick I think I give off is how much I speak in movie quotes, because a lot of people probably don't understand what I'm saying.
I track. I will say this. Both of us have to watch it on the pod because we're going to be laughing after things and people are like, what's so funny?
And what's funny about that?
What's funny about that?
That's not a movie quote. That's just us.
That's just us. And that's just us. We write an entire episode.
Just with movie quotes. I actually wrote this down.
We just communicate.
As my an idea, because you know how I like try to keep running lists of like
we have a brainstorm doc.
podcast topics, and one of them is like most unrecognizable movie quotes but ones that we like consistently use throughout our lives.
I love that. I love that.
Because there's just so many of them.
Okay, so we actually asked you guys to send in some of your icks, and y'all deliver a lot of the time. But when it came to the icks,
Nobody wanted to show up.
nobody wanted to share what their icks were.
No one wanted to show up. Did we post it late last night and didn't really have a lot of time in between recording and asking you? Yes.
Yes,
But we've done that before.
but there was one. There was a couple, but there was one that we need to bring attention to.
Okay.
Because
We only have time for one today.
I didn't realize, so it worked out. I didn't realize that this was actually a real thing. I thought it was like a meme.
Okay.
But people that are usually like religious using the term, like Christianity specifically, I think like in those circles, using the term daddy God. 'Cause
Wait,
how
what?
You know how you'd be like, our Father or God.
Our Father,
Father
who
who
art
art
in
in
heaven,
heaven.
hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom
People
come, thy
like-
will be done.
On earth as it is in heaven. Some people.
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior?
I'm crying. But no, literally, like, I guess people will use the term daddy God, like when they pray and stuff or lead people in prayer. They'd be like, Daddy God, will you meet us here today?
It's giving like
Daddy
righteous
God.
gemstones.
I can't. I did not know that
Zaddy
was
God.
real. Zaddy God, would you just like make us so fit and like have the fuzzy pod like just help it pop off? Daddy God.
Daddy God.
No, if you're using Daddy God, I'm looking directly into the camera right now. Hi. Hi, I'm Megan Nicole for
.com.org.
If you've ever found yourself in prayer or on stage leading worship and felt the need to use the term Daddy God, stop and think.
Call this number and make your donations today to help Daddy God be stopped.
1-800-69420. Stop the Daddy God.
Stop the Daddy God.
Okay. I think that's today's episode.
Well, I'm so glad we got that because I had no idea about that. And now I learned something new.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to make that a reality for you.
I love that. I love that that's a reality for me now.
Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of The Fuzzy Pod. Emphasis on fuzzy, a little bit all over the place today, but we had so much fun being able to take it back to junior high crushes and how those crushes were ultimately stopped with some interesting icks.
How those fizzled out.
How those crushes just fizzled away.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to give us a rating and review. It really, really helps us. And we love getting to hear from you guys. So leave us a comment, send us a DM. You can find us on Instagram at The Fuzzy Pod. And thanks for joining us today.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.